Hey, it's Paul from howtoplaybassdotcom. Today's lesson we're going to learn how to play the bass line to You Should Be Dancing by the Bee Gees, and next in our series of funk and disco style bass lines. This is a nice bass line with a predominantly 8th note feel, but then there's some little 16th note sections in, so it's not quite as rhythmically sophisticated as some of the previous ones in this series has been. So it'll maybe be a bit easier if you're a bit more on the beginner side. As with the previous lessons, I'm going to record the parts with a band in the box sketch track. Now the sketch track is a little less effective than previous lessons because a lot of the chords in this tune stay the same. It vamps on G minor for a lot of the verse and for the chorus as well, that figure that you'll know, that figure which we'll get to in a minute, and so the one thing band in the box is not so great on is comfortably dealing with one chord vamps that stretch over 8 bars, 16 bars, that kind of thing. However, it still gives you some idea of the harmony and the line in context, so I've still used it for this lesson. Before we get started with the intro, if you're not a member of my free monthly easy, click on the link underneath the video if you're watching on YouTube, head over to the website, subscribe. There's a free monthly song tutorial with PDF which has the notation and tab of what I'm teaching. It's exclusive to people who are signed up. Additionally, as a thank you for entrusting me with your email address, there are a sequence of 4 video and PDF lessons that you'll get in your inbox over the next few days once you subscribe. So go do that, then come back and we'll kick off the lesson with the intro. Just heard me play the intro with the band in a box sketch track. It's an 8-bar section, and first 4 bars pretty much pedaling on the G. This is in G minor, this section, and then the second 4 bars we get into the riff that's kind of familiar for the chorus, which we'll come to in a minute. So I'll go through it note by note. If you need to hear the notes in context, obviously just rewind to this section of the video, go to the start. There's a little graphic at the start which says intro on it, so you'll be able to find it reasonably easy, and just watch again the play along with the band in a box sketch track. So the first 3 bars are just staccato G notes on the beat. G's the 3rd fret of the E string, so just on the quarter note. And then the last bar you've got this, which is G, 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 D, 5th fret of the A string, F, 3rd fret of the D string, F sharp, 4th fret of the D string. And then you get into this riff. The first bar of this riff is, so you've got a G at the 5th fret of the D string, then you've got, which is 3 B flat, the 3rd fret of the G string, then you've got a pause, then you've got, which is F, F sharp, G, 3rd, 4th and 5th frets of the D string. Then the second bar repeats that F, F sharp and G figure, same fret location, 3, 4, 5, and then it finishes with 3 hits on the low G. So I play the 5th and the 6th bar, and then it repeats that figure for the 7th and 8th bars. And the only difference is right at the end you've got 2 approach notes, F and an F sharp, which will take you to the first note of the verse, which is also a G. So let's go look at that verse. Okay, the verse is another 8-bar section. Just heard it with the band in a box sketch track. It's essentially a 2-bar pattern. That 2-bar phrase repeated 4 times, although there's a variation on the very last bar. So the first bar is G, G, F, G, G, F, which is G and G, 3rd fret of the E string, F at the 1st fret, back to G, G again, back to F. Then the second bar is, which is G, G, C at the 3rd fret of the A string, B flat at the 6th fret of the E string, back to C at the 3rd fret of the A string, up to D, 5th fret of the A string, and repeat that pattern. And then the 4th time you play through the pattern, the first bar is the same, and then there's a variation in the very last bar. What you've got is G, 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 F, G, B flat, but this time you're playing B flat, the 1st fret of the A string, and that will lead you to the pre-chorus, which will take us to the chorus. So any things you need to check, go listen to the play along with the sketch track. Otherwise, let's move ahead and look at the pre-chorus and the chorus. The pre-chorus is the section under the lyric, what you're doing on your back. This is a nice piece of contrast. What you've got is a C minor chord going on, but the bass line's playing a C, and then a B natural under the C minor, then a B flat, and back to the B natural. So 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 2nd fret of the A string, and it makes a really nice counter melody. It plays that twice. The second time it plays 2 quarter notes on the B natural, and then we go into 4 bar of the chorus, which is pretty similar to what we've done before, except instead of in the intro we played a quarter note on that first G. This time we've got the F, F sharp and G pattern replacing that quarter note. So what you get, the first 2 bars would be this. So you got F, F sharp, G, 3rd, 4th, 5th frets of the D string, 3 hits on the B flat at the 3rd fret of the G string, then F, F sharp and G again, 3rd, 4th and 5th frets of the D string. That's the first bar. Then the second bar, again, repeat F, F sharp and G, 3rd, 4th and 5th frets, and then those 3 hits, 3rd fret of the E string down on the low G. Then it repeats that, and then you've got 2 8th notes at the end which serve as approach notes. Now if you're going back to the verse, then you play F and F sharp as before, 1st and 2nd frets of the E string, but there's a section where the chorus goes straight back to the pre-chorus. When that happens, the 2 approach notes you want to play are G and B flat, 1st fret of the A string. So I'll play the last 2 bars of the chorus going back to the pre-chorus so you can just hear that. So that leads quite nicely to that pre-chorus when it does that. So watch out for that. You have to listen through just to work out what section comes next and then apply the appropriate approach notes. Okay, the next section we're going to go look at is the section under the horn riff, and then there's a mini guitar solo. Section under the horn riff mini guitar solo, it's a 12-bar section. The first 4 bars under the horn riff are all either G or F. Notes are G or F, 3rd fret of the E string or the first fret of the E string, and they're predominantly G. You've got a 2-bar pattern that repeats. So that repeats. And that's under the horn riff where the horns are going da 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 da, that thing. Excuse my bad singing of it. Then we get this mini guitar solo. The first 4 bars, you start off with a held G note. It's held over the first bar, the G minor bar. Then there's an A minor bar. A's held for the whole of that bar. That's the 5th fret of the E string. Then you've got a 2-bar pattern that's something like this, which is G, 3rd fret of the E string. These notes are all really staccato as well. Octave of G, 5th fret of the D string, F, 3rd fret of the D string, F again, and that octave of G at the 5th fret, and then the second of those bars, low G, octave G, then that 16th note there goes from G to F, 5th to 3rd fret of the D string, down to D, the 5th fret of the A string, and then back to the low G at the 3rd fret of the E string. So that 4-bar pattern would be 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then the next time round, the pattern's almost identical, but instead of the holding the first 2 notes for entire bars, instead you're replacing that with playing the low note for 2 beats, and then it's octave for 2 beats. So for G, it's 3rd and 5th frets of the E and D string. For A, it's the 5th and 7th frets of the E and D string. So that 4 bars would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you'd be back into the, I think it's back into the verse. Then there's a section after the chorus where there's a nice meaty held bass for G note for 3 bars. And then there's lots of vocals and drums, ad-libs. Then when the chorus comes back in at around the 3:15 mark in the tune, there's a nice little chorus variation which I'll just go through to round out the lesson. Okay, so this chorus variation, you just heard me play it. Let's go through it bar by bar. It's all G minor chord. First bar is, so you've got G, G, F, G, the low G, 3rd fret of the E string again, G, F, 5th to 3rd frets of the D string, and then you've got that F, F sharp, G, 3rd, 4th, 5th frets of the D string. Second bar, which is low G, octave G, F, 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 G, so 3rd and 5th frets of the D string for the F, 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 G. Then you've got a repeat of those 2 bars. Then the second 4 bars is where you've got a really nice 2-bar pattern that repeats. Okay, so let's look at those notes. So it starts off with, let's do that first part first. It's G, 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 F, D, G, F, 5th and 3rd frets of the D string, D, 5th fret of the A string, of course, and then you've got C, B flat, G. Very much pentatonic kind of figure. C's the 3rd fret of the A string, B flat, 6th fret of the E string, G, the 3rd fret of the E string again, of course. That's the kind of rhythm. And then the second bar is kind of like a answer bar. You've got this, which is G, G, G. And then you've got this chromatic walk up, A, F, F sharp, G, which is obviously open 1st, 2nd and 3rd frets of the E string. So that 2-bar pattern again. once that's played, then you're going into repeats of the chorus, and it outros and fades. You can throw in some of the original chorus, or you can throw in some of these variations, or you could play around with it. But those parts are enough for you to get through the tune and play it and sound authentic as well in the really important parts.